Hey, it's me, Chiney, and I was on Twitter the other day and I was scrolling and I saw an article that CNN put about what's the buzz about women in sports. And women in sports has buzz, but not the same buzz as men, so I try to break it down a little bit. You see women on TV and they're usually, the celebrity glamour figures, the Kim K's of the world or the women walking the red carpet. And then you see basketball players on TV like LeBron James. I know we've watched that Vine 100 zillion times. But anyways, LeBron James, you have Dwayne Wade, you have Kevin Durant, you have Russell Westbrook, all those dynamic figures that dunk and slice and dice and everything. And then as a women's basketball player, where do we fit in? Like, where's the buzz coming from? How do we, fit in on TV and mass media and in the national market? It's a difficult situation to address because obviously we're fighting for respect with women's basketball always, and I think that our fans love it, we love it, we're passionate about the game, but that sometimes doesn't translate in mass markets. I'll see in occasions or instances where the WNBA is mentioned and automatically people are like, oh no, they put a big X like, oh, why watch that stuff? And I say, have you been to a game? Have you experienced a player? Have you met one in person? Do you watch college women's sports? Do you know grassroots sports? Do you know a young aspiring hooper or a young aspiring player? Just because we may not have the same buzz as the men's game doesn't mean our game is less valid. I always tell people this story about women's basketball fandom. Yes, it's niche. I went to Stanford University and we have the best fans on the planet. Nerd Nation is strong. But with regard to basketball, our fans knew us better than we knew ourselves. And I realized that the women's game, our fans take vested interest in knowing each player, not just what they do on the court, but also what they do off the court. I think that the media has a difficult time portraying women's basketball players because so far we've only defined ourselves as being fierce competitors. You don't see many people, doing things off the court. I mean, everyone has their own special hobby or interest or doing some remarkable stuff, but they haven't really talked about that as much. They haven't seen the other facets of our game, and our game not being just basketball. I think when it comes to men's basketball, it's strictly basketball, but when it comes to women's basketball, it's a big community. For instance, at Stanford, it's not just that I am a basketball player at Stanford, I am a student athlete, I am someone that is doing an IR major, I'm the little sister to Nneka, who was another great Stanford player. There's so many things that make your little story, and that's what women's basketball is about. So when you approach women's basketball with the lens like the men's where let's just show them as basketball, that's sort of doing an injustice to our game. I think there's definitely a space for you to be a woman and then to be a basketball player and to not sacrifice one for the other. Obviously, you have to be comfortable with letting your hair down and being fierce on the court and occasionally having a crazy action shot. But then you can always IG your favorite outfit on the way to the game. You can show your interest in fashion. You can show your interest in lifestyle, health, beauty products. That's a beautiful thing about social media. You can show people your interests. So your game is not just what's on the court, it's also what's off the court. And if you want to just show people that you're a basketball player, show it. If you want to show yourself that you're you got your hair on fleek, you got your hair, I don't know what, you're a woman, then you can show that as well. There's definitely a trend where athletic women are the new sexy or the new in. Athletic is not necessarily ever been out of style, but now our bodies are being celebrated. You look at the ESPN body issue, which is really neat, or you look at how all these fit chicks are getting thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. So taking care of your body and being an athlete does not mean that you're less of a woman. It means that you cherish athleticism, health, wellness, and you're proud of it. You're proud of your body. So I think there's a way you can get everything, both being an athlete and being a woman. You can put on some heels, but then you can also put on some Jordans. So today, women's basketball is tough to be classified because it's still a work in progress. You have women that are super uber feminine and like to rock that, but then also be fierce competitors on the court. And I think that just shows that we're in an age of social realness. On Instagram, you can be whoever you want to be. You see people like Skylar Diggins and you see people like Lisa Leslie. Everyone controls their own image, and I think the game just needs to adapt to that. All right, y'all, so we talked about what it's like to be a female basketballer. That means you can be sexy, you can be confident, you can portray yourself as you want to be portrayed. But I want to know, what are your tricks of the trade? How do you maintain, your swag while you're on the court? I know with Sky, it's headbands. With me, I used to like to rock braids when I was playing. How do you portray yourself? How do you negotiate that space? So let me know. Hit me up here. Send me your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, anything, and we can keep this conversation going.